Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbilly.
Tom Brady is retiring. Okay, Deb, is this like for real? Or is this like the time you told me the Shamrock Shake was back? And I get the whole way down to McDonald's, come to find out it weren't. Something don't feel right. I've gone over this moment thousands of times in my head. You know, how happy and excited I'd be. It's finally here. It's kind of feel like how Deb always leaves the car's gas tank empty.
We are back on the air after a long 4-month hiatus. Welcome to the Do What Is Necessary live stream. I am coming to you live on a shorts and t-shirt weather finally here in the state of Ohio. So, if you're watching the show, let me know where you're tuning into the show from, and also let me know whether or not this is the first time you're ever catching the show. This is the start of season number 3, and we're about 6 weeks late. I made an attempt to go live with this episode 6 weeks ago. So I've got a lot of things that have happened in between there, and I'll fill you in on the details. But thank you very much if you're tuning into the show. I appreciate you on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening, or for those of you in the UK, in Australia, it's the middle of the night on Saturday. Yes, so again, let me know you can hear me okay. Let's get all that technical stuff out of the way. First off, make sure that we are live and streaming. It looks like we are good on LinkedIn. We are good on YouTube as well. So again, put in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from and whether or not this is the first time you're catching the show. If this is your first time catching the show, and if you happen to be watching this on the replay and you've never heard of me, my name is Andrew Moon. I turn hustling entrepreneurs into calm, unstoppable CEOs. That's what I do now. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 8, and this is season 3 of this show, and this show is dedicated all about building the life that fits you, doing what is necessary for you. This isn't the toxic hustle and grind stuff that is perpetuated out there. If you're looking for that show, you'll have to tune in someplace else. This is the anti-hustle and grind, work your face off till you're dead mentality. Anyway, but yes, let me know in the comments that you can hear me okay, and we will get rocking and rolling. I'll fill you in on all the details of where the heck I've been for the last 4 months and what's been going on. But before we do that, I wanted to thank you if you happen to be watching this show as a repeat viewer. Thank you so much. I've gotten an outpouring of support for folks looking for the Do What Is Necessary live stream. We typically go live on Wednesday afternoons. But we're probably going to change that up here for season 3, because again, I'll fill you in on all the details of all the stuff we got going on here. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor that we picked up right at the end of last year, and that is the Tech Tribe. I've been in the IT field, around the IT field, and I coach the IT field now. This is by far the best community on the face of the planet for IT service providers, managed service providers. Those of you who are got the back office and have been keeping the lights on, keeping businesses running for the last 3 years, thank you. This is a shout out to Nigel and his team over at the Tech Tribe are doing some amazing things, and I wish I would have had you guys around whenever I had my last business. So as a sponsor, Nigel kindly agreed to give away a couple books. He's published 2 books to help MSPs as far as pricing and being able to survive and thrive in the new economy. There is lots of changes coming in the IT provider world, and we're starting to see massive shifts in those of you providing IT support. So my shout out to you. So put in the comments, put the words free books in the comments, and we'll make sure that Nigel and his team will send those right out to you. No matter where you happen to be tuning in the world, Nigel said that he can send those 2 books out to you pretty much anywhere where Amazon ships. So thank you, Nigel, for being a supporter of the Do What Is Necessary live stream. We appreciate you. We appreciate all that your team is doing behind the scenes. All right, so let's go through my checklist. I'm kind of rusty doing this. I feel like it's been forever. 4 months is a long time in the live streaming world. But yeah, if you've got comments, you've got questions, again, first person to put free books in there will score themselves some free books. So, all right, let's start. Let me go through. There's such a laundry list. I don't know where to start. But needless to say, after 2 years of being cooped up in the house, we actually just surpassed that. March 13th, or was today the 19th? March 13th, 2020 was the last time that I was physically out of the house. I remember I was hanging the last security camera on a house of worship, and having not been out commercially or pretty much in any stretch doing any type of work. Haven't been on vacation, and we're probably all feeling that. And so that really leads up to the big changes that I made last year, right at the end of last year. After that, I needed to change. I needed new space. I needed to be somewhere different. I spent the last 20 years in Columbus, and we have moved out of Columbus. So those of you who happen to be watching this show from the Columbus market, thank you for all the good friends that I made while I was in Columbus. We are still in Ohio. I'm only 2 hours for you. We'll be back. I've got lots of friends still in the Columbus area. So we bought a house. I got out of the lifelong renting game and finally took the bullet and broke down and bought a house. And I bought a house in an area that I grew up in. I'm probably about 15, 20 minutes from where I grew up. And it's funny because I swore, it's funny because 30 years ago this year, I graduated high school and left my hometown in Fallonsby, West Virginia, and swore in myself I would never return to this area. I would never move back here. 30 years later, many life changes later, many businesses later, here I am. COVID, a pandemic later, so many things change. And that's kind of where I was at the end of last year. I needed change. I needed to be someplace else. I needed to dig back into my roots. And really, that was one of the reasons that we moved back here, to be closer to my wife's family. So yeah, I'm closer to the Yinzer crowd. So those of you who are tuning in from Pittsburgh, give a shout out in the comments. Let me know what's up. But yeah, I'm about probably a little less than an hour outside of downtown Pittsburgh right now. So I'm glad to be back in this area. We bought a house in a small former steel town right here on the Ohio River. And this is where it got started for me. This is where my entrepreneurial roots are grounded and seated. You know, all my family grew up in steel mills and coal mines, and at age 8, I decided I did not want to do that. My dad worked for the railroad. Everything was around steel, coal, production, all of that. But I learned a lot of things living here. I learned so many things growing up in a poor family about working hard and that blue collar mentality. And I am so happy and proud to be back in this area so that my son can actually see that. He's graduated, but he's still with us, but he can actually see the working class mentality where Dad grew up, and hopefully he takes that with him. Hopefully he takes that entrepreneurial roots with him wherever he goes in life. That's all I can hope for. Anyway, so that was change number 1. We moved out of Columbus. Change number 2, we bought a house. I started a podcast. So it was funny. I started the podcast before we left for Columbus. But yeah, if you want to check out that podcast, let's see here. My podcast graphic is gone. So it's the Do What Is Necessary podcast. We typically come out every Thursday at 5 a.m. Eastern time. But if you want to check that out, that would be awesome. Yeah, so if you're just checking in, tuning into the show, say hi, say what's up. But I'm glad to be back on the air. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the reasons I haven't been back on the air. We bought a 100-year-old house, and needless to say, there's been quite a few things that have changed, needed done. Renovations. I've been super busy with the move. Pretty much everything happened in a 6-week period of time, and we were out of Columbus by December 31st of last year. But a lot's happened. It was funny. The minute I was set to go live 6 weeks ago, I had about 4 inches of water in my basement. So needless to say, I had to put off going live. Ice storm, no power for 3 days, tons of renovations. That's what I've been up to. But finally, we're kind of seeing spring ahead. We got flowers in the yard. And I've got still a lot of work to do. But yeah, lots of work to do on the studio. You can check out my temporary setup here. This is just temporary setup for right now. I'm probably going to be doing a full studio walkthrough. As you can see, we're in new digs now. Lots have changed behind me. The studio is a little bit bigger than it was prior. But yeah, glad to be back. So let me fill you in on some of the other things that we're going to be up to this year. So those of you who have missed out, quite several people that I've told that I've moved, first thing they ask me is, they want to see videos of the renovations. They're like me. I watch a lot of those DIY channels, renovation shows, watch a lot of YouTube videos, learned a lot on YouTube videos, being able to do some of these renos, on the house. Got quite a few. We're in the middle of the kitchen right now. But I'm going to be doing some studio renovations here behind me. So a lot's going to change probably over the next month or so. So again, if you would like to see videos on, the renovations, I was thinking about, making a separate YouTube channel for that to do the renovations. Cause one of the things, I've got a shop down at the other end of our property that I want to do some woodworking projects. Got some, just really tap into the creative side that I've wanted to do for a while, working with my hands. That's the other thing about being back here, working with my hands, not just behind a camera in a studio. And that's one of the things I'm excited about this year. So I got lots of things coming up. I'm going to build a 10-foot floating desk for the studio in here, so I'm probably going to document that whole build. Yeah, so I want to get into some epoxy. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. The other thing we're working on here is one of the things that's been stewing in my mind since COVID started. Really, again, there are a lot of just tons of self-reflection the last couple of years, and about why I do the things I do, and going back to my roots. And we physically went back to my roots. But I've thought about, I've started the process of making a documentary. I'm going to go on the record of stating that I want to make a documentary of the cities that relied on the steel and coal industry for so many years, because that's one of the things that breaks my heart about this area is so many towns are dying just because there's no industry here. But it is a beautiful area. Not much steel is being produced anymore. But I want to document, kind of the history of this area and the history of the people here and how much they contributed to the Industrial Revolution in building a lot of the cities and skyscrapers you see around the country. A lot of that came from this area. So I want to document that. So I've started the process on that. That looks to be a long process. We're going to do bits and pieces, but yeah, wanted to go on record stating that I'm going to be working on a documentary. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on this year. Like I said, lots of DIY projects. See what else we got here. So one of the things is getting back to regular live streams, connecting with the tons of fans and people that have great connections that I've made all over the globe that have come from this show. I was just on a call the other day with somebody who started watching the show a year and a half ago. And it's just exciting, the relationships that have come about because of live streaming. So I want to do more live streaming. I want to teach more people how to get on live streaming. Because I think there's so many people that have so many things to offer, and I'm not an expert by any stretch. But I want to teach people what I've learned doing live streaming. I am an introvert, 100% INFJ introvert by nature. And I've learned so much doing live streaming about people, about relationships, about community, and about myself. And that's what I want to share, that journey with people this year. So I'm hoping to tag some of my Ecamm fam. That's the streaming software that I've been using to do this show for almost since day one. So if you'd like to take part in that, if you'd like to take part in teaching people how to do live streaming, my fellow Ecammers, I'm going to be interviewing hopefully some of them this year. But I want to get back to in-person events. I miss social media marketing world this week. I've been living vicariously through other people's social media this week. So I miss the in-person stuff. I miss seeing people. I miss high-fiving people. And I am so anxious to meet some people in real life that I've connected with over the last couple years sitting behind this camera. And yeah, I'll hopefully do more traveling this year. I'd like to get out and experience things this year. So if you happen to be traveling somewhere and you're excited about things breaking open and being able to go somewhere, let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to this year. I know we're already coming up on the end of Q1 already. Can you believe it? Q1 of 2022 is almost over. It's crazy. Anyway, so that is where I've been. I wanted to do this live stream to give you an update about where I've been, what I've been up to, and what we've got planned. If you'd like some DIY videos or other content that you want me to do on the show, let me know. But I'm going to be doing a lot more on YouTube this year. I'm going to try to expand my presence. I know I've got 14,000 plus connections and followers over on LinkedIn. So we're going to try to build a YouTube presence this year and really make a concentrated effort of engaging our audience over on YouTube and building an audience and, more importantly, a community over on YouTube. Anyway, a couple things. Let's just switch. You know me, I talk about the tech gear. That's enough about me. But I wanted to tell you about a few things that really got me juiced this week. Let me switch cameras here. It wasn't actually this week, but I think it was last week. But they just became available today. You're going to start to see lots of YouTube videos. I am an Apple fanboy. Pretty much, I've lost track of how many Apple devices I have on my Apple ID, but it is a lot. But this one, I was excited when I got the M1 Mac Mini last year. I got 2 of them, actually. But this got me super excited, the new Mac Studio. And it is an absolute beast of a machine. Just from what I'm seeing, some of the videos that are coming out this week, I will be picking up one of these for sure. It's just absolutely insane what you can do with this machine. And it is crushing Mac Pro specs. I think, what was it? 18 streams of 8K video this thing can process with the M1 Ultra chip, which is insane. So anyway, I'm hoping to get my hands on that this year. And they actually released an affordable display, if you will. The new Studio display came out this week. I think that was due to hit stores as well. But yeah, this is the one that I'm excited about. It's getting my hands on a Studio display and the new Mac Studio. Anyway, so another Mac update that dropped, I think, day before yesterday that I have been waiting for to come out of beta is Universal Control. And if you've followed my videos of any length of time, you know that I've been wanting one mouse and one keyboard to control all my Macs, and it's finally here. They announced this at Worldwide Developer Conference last year, I think in June, so we're coming up on almost a year before this hit release, and it is absolutely crazy awesome. So now, with one keyboard and one mouse, I actually can control 2 different computers in my setup. I'm going to go to the BTS camera real quick so you can see. I'm rocking 1, 2, 3, 4 screens, and I can move my mouse across all 4 screens, which is crazy. I can type on one machine with one keyboard, switch. I don't have to switch anything. I just literally move my cursor over, put it over here. So those of you e-cammers, I've been holding off getting a docking station. They've been really hard to come by since the pandemic started. So I'm running 2 Mac Minis with no docking station, no ATEM Mini, all off of 4 displays. I've been wanting a 3rd display for a while, but been holding off Universal Control to see how it would work. And I am happy to report that it works flawlessly. And I now have a 4-monitor setup with no docking station. So those of you going to drop $400 on a docking station, might want to just pick up another M1 Mac Mini. I bought it on Apple Refurb. Let me see if they have any on here, on the Refurb site. I actually picked it up a few months ago. I picked up both of these as refurbs. So if you just go down to the bottom of Apple's site, let's see what they got on tap. See if they've got anything in the... And again, if you're watching this on the recording or watching this later, you'll have to check out the Mac site. So yeah, there's M1 589. I have not run any issues whatsoever on the base model M1 chip. Somebody posted the other day on LinkedIn that they were having a problem. He was looking to drop like $700 or $800 on a video card to run After Effects. After Effects runs just fine on this machine. So, absolutely insane. And for $589, you have a fully working machine. instead of just a docking station. So absolutely phenomenal and sweet. Love it. So Lane McDowell said, I'm not a Mac guy, but that is a cool feature. Yes, I have been, coming in the PC world as an MSP for 10 years. It's funny. I let people know I was actually been running Macs since 2009, even when I was running my MSP. We were fully Mac shop internally. Anyway, that it was a game changer feature for me this week. I am super excited. So yeah, it's just one of those nerd things this week. So yeah, so if you're looking to get into live streaming, I can't recommend this machine enough. And for $600, it literally does everything I need it to do. I run Adobe Premiere. I run a multiple camera setup through Ecamm on this. I have yet to bend this thing to its knees at the base $589 price of an M1. I got two of them only because coming from an IT world, everything we do has to be done in multiples. Always have a backup. Those of you in the IT world know that. Anyway, so that was one of the exciting things that released this week, I believe, with 12.3 version of Mac OS. So I'm super stoked about that. One of the other things, I'm going to switch gears completely, again, still tech related, but we're going to talk about live streaming. Those of you who have been following me on LinkedIn, and this is where most of our audience has come from, is LinkedIn. Anyway, one of the other things that people have asked me about for a while is live streaming, and LinkedIn Live particularly. So I want to let you know about some of the changes that have occurred in the last 4 months. I'm going to probably be doing a follow-up video on this, but I wanted to let you know about some recent changes, and this is on LinkedIn's site here, recent changes to LinkedIn Live and events. And they seem to be doing away with the application process of applying for LinkedIn Live and then waiting for a denial. I think it took me 3 times to be able to get LinkedIn Live enabled on my account back in 2019. But I'm going to give you a hint on a little shortcut here. Go to your LinkedIn profile and then scroll down. I'm going to show you, just see a second here. I'm going to turn on my mouse real quick. That way you can follow my mouse on screen. See if we can get it to work here. There we go. All right. So if you go to your LinkedIn profile and you scroll down and look for, it's called Creator Mode. And let me know if you do see that on your profile, but enable Creator Mode. So if you click that, if you'll notice right now, I have that on. But if you click on Creator Mode, you'll notice some of the tools that you're given with Creator Mode is LinkedIn Live and newsletters, which is a new feature that LinkedIn rolled out last year. So you should have those available to you if you've been producing content for a while on LinkedIn and have been wanting LinkedIn Live. Turn on Creator Mode first of all. It might take a couple days before you see that show up, and that's okay. But I'm going to put links to, if you want, the links to all these articles, let me know. But yeah, I did a mini course, if you will. It takes less than an hour to do. Link is in the description, in the show notes here. Check that out. But it is a full walkthrough on how to do LinkedIn Live, before, during, after, all that good fun stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about that because I think the opportunity for LinkedIn Live, the opportunity to build community, the opportunity to build an audience and build your company brand and your personal brand is huge on LinkedIn. I cannot say enough about how much LinkedIn Live has changed my business and professional life by doing these live streams. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Let's see here. So, yeah, Lane said, really? Full Mac shop? That's not the industry standard. Yeah, we ran a lot of things against the grain in my MSP, and I wish a lot more folks would do that instead of doing things, that's the whole point of this show, is doing what is necessary for you. And I spent well over 100,000 on gurus, courses, all that good fun stuff on how to run an MSP. And finally, I went on an information diet, took the best of things that I liked out of all the gurus, courses, all that good fun stuff that was out there. And I built my MSP the way that I thought it should be run. And yeah, one of the things that we ran fully behind the scenes was we were an Apple shop behind the scenes. So if you have any questions on LinkedIn Live, do you have any questions on, anything we've covered today? But I just wanted to bust out the cobwebs and, really get back in the saddle of doing these LinkedIn Lives. I've missed you guys and gals. I've missed our audience. I've missed the interaction. But I'm excited about what we've got going on this year. Hey, Lane, if you're still watching this, let me know if you're in the Tech Tribe. I believe you are. But I'm excited about what we've got coming up for doing some events with the Tech Tribe, specifically in the Pittsburgh and Columbus markets, since that's where I'm going to be. Nigel and I are going to be working on some things later this year to do some tribal meetups. So I'm excited to be able to get out, shake hands, and get out and meet some great folks that I'm connected to. So anyway, it's a long-winded show today, but I'm happy that you decided to hang out with me on a Friday afternoon. But I just wanted to do this quick update, let you know what I've been up to. I'm broke, but I'm getting fixed. Yes, got my flow back this week. Check out my other video over on YouTube. I busted out, I don't have them close to me, I busted out some whiteboard and some colored markers this week and finally got my flow back because I've been kind of stuck for a while doing creative. Being creative, is not something that I'm more analytical, so it takes me a long time to get into creative mode. But I feel like I'm getting there this week. I feel like I'm able to get back into the zone and really get into building some content and again, making some great relationships this year, teaching people what I know. So Lane, awesome. Thank you. Awesome. He is a member of the Tech Tribe. So, yeah, excited. Maybe we'll bump into each other over on the tribal community. But yeah, give me a shout out over there. Also, let me know, what city you're in, Lane. If we should be connected on LinkedIn. But yeah, maybe we'll get to meet up in real life this year. But yeah, I'm excited about what this year has to offer. Anyway, that's kind of my long-winded, here's what I've been up to and things that I'm kind of psyched about that have been going on. But yeah, lots coming up in the content space, teaching people's live streaming. Going to be doing an update to our LinkedIn course. Lots of work to do. Lots of work to do. But yeah, I'm excited. So Lane, thanks. He's not too far here in the Midwest. He's in Chicago. Hopefully you got nice sunny weather like we do here. It's supposed to be 75 today, so as soon as I wrap this stream, I want to go out and enjoy that nice, sunny, warm weather. But yeah, thank you again to our sponsor, the Tech Tribe. And if you want a 40% off, if you're not a Tech Tribe member, head over to orangenomad.com/Tech Tribe. You get 40% off of your first month membership. It's only $49 a month. It's insane the amount of resources and community you have access to for less than $49. And I'm going to point out one thing. Go ahead and lock that pricing in because there is an absolutely huge announcement coming very soon for Tech Tribe members that I'm going to be helping Nigel out with marketing and the Growably platform. So I know Nigel's done some sneak peeks over on the community, but you guys are going to love this. Trust me. So trust me, you'll be excited about it. If you'd like to support the show, if you like the show, if you want to, support the show, I'd really appreciate it. Head over to orangenomad.com/merch. Grab yourself maybe not a hoodie. It's not hoodie weather, but grab a t-shirt, grab a hat, sticker, whatever. But anyway, we can support the show to keep the lights on and keep the content flowing over here at Orange Nomad. I would really, really appreciate it. If you want so simple, buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee /Orange Nomad. $5. I live on coffee. Drinking the water right now. I'm probably going to have a coffee break as soon as we wrap. So thanks again for watching the show. As I've ended every single show, every single episode since the beginning of this show, always stay humble and kind, and always do what is necessary. I'll see you in the next show.
Reboot, I'm cold red, my service automated, like data running through my veins. Got you distracted.